This is not a plug-and-play thing, however. It's more of an LED portable thing. And that's what we're going to look at today. This is Tetris. It is an official Tetris product, Tetris.com, for ages 8+. So no kids, unless you're 8. Includes 3 AA batteries. We like that. That's all I got, really. Alright, so this is the gameplay. I'm doing this late at night, so there's no sound. But I will record some footage with the sound on. It's actually some high quality sound. And also, I'm noticing the viewfinder is spotting a lot of the LED things. It's the backlot display things. You could choose your level. You could also choose how high the pre-existing stack is. Go as high as 15. And we'll keep it simple. We'll keep it basic. We'll just stick with the first level. No garbage. And I will endeavor to play this. Okay, so you have your soft dropping and your hard drops. So it's pretty much conforming to the current Tetris set, I should probably say. And I apologize in advance if I'm moving a lot, but anyways. So it's just, it's pretty much Tetris. There's not much to it. I don't know where else I'm going to put that. It's pretty standard Tetris. There's no hole. There's no ghost pieces. It's so it's a combination. It's sort of like more like a classic iteration of Tetris, which I'm perfectly fine with. There's your pause display. So we're going to turn that on, and hopefully you can see that. So that's the display. That's the gameplay in action. We're still doing this late at night, so no sound for now. But I will add a portion of gameplay with the sound on, and you'll get to hear for yourself. So right off the bat, I don't know how well you're seeing that. I'm going to apologize in advance if the screen moves around quite a bit. I'm going to be focusing more on the actual screen and not what's on the viewfinder. And if you don't press anything, the game turns off on its own, which is rather nice. Anyways, so waiting for the autofocus to kick in. And, I could tell you right off the bat, you could choose up to level 15 if you want. Again, there's only 15 levels. The autofocus is fucking me over. Alright, so this is what the game looks like. This is being filmed in the dark, so you'll get the maximum illumination. You're also getting the little details on the actual monitor. I'm going to apologize in advance for the screen moving around a bit. That's kind of what happens when I try to play the game. I'm focusing more on the actual machine and not the viewfinder. I think you got all the details right. You could choose your starting level. Press one of the rotate buttons. You could choose your height. You could go as high as 15. We're just going to keep it basic. Keep it like, level 1. No garbage. And we're going to get the game. So you have 2 rotate buttons, like I said. The joystick is actually not that bad, actually. Yeah, works for me. You got your soft drops and your hard drops, which is always nice. It's a combination of like the modern Tetris set. If you can see on the display, there's little you get messages for single line clears, double line clear, triple line clears, Tetris line clears. And also if you pull off a, what's his face there, T-spins, and if you manage to clear the whole well, which is, you know, a rare feat, but sometimes it happens. And one of the things I like actually about the more modern Tetris is, you know, when you manage to get an all clear, they do recognize that, whereas, you know, classic Tetris, you know, but I don't know, I could go either way. So we got our first line cleared. You know, the scoring system is based on the, I guess the modern. I guess nowadays every Tetris iteration would be based on the modern system. But this is like this is fairly. It's a hybrid of sorts. It's got some of the current setup, but it doesn't have ghost pieces. There's no holding or anything like that. Don't know if there's the infinite spin. I don't think I want to try that. Cause fucking hell, I'd imagine it would though. You know, if a level 15 is anything to go by. Again, I'm apologizing for the moving screen, but when it comes to playing these things, I'm gonna try and be as comfortable as possible. And well, you have eyes. You know, as long as it doesn't fall off the screen or anything like that, I think we're gonna be okay. So we're gonna try and clear one quick level. And that's alright. I can't complain about this one. You know, you would play those block games, right? Those like cheapo Japanese, those Chinese knockoff block game things. Whether it comes in the form of like a Game Boy type thing, or you know, I think Ashens actually did one of those brick game things that looked like a one of those original PlayStations, and I kind of like though. Like I like the little. I like that each of the Tetron Monos has their own like block designs, like a different colored blocks and tiles, which is always nice. A nice little detail to have. Cause you could have just stuck with. You could just stuck with you know, this one generic block type, and you don't have to put in the extra designs. But this is actually, it's a nice little detail, I think. We're already in level 2, and fuck man, I'm actually enjoying this. It's Tetris, you know. If you've played Tetris, you enjoy Tetris. You know, plenty of ways to play Tetris, and this isn't too bad. I don't remember how much this was. I think it was like 25 bucks more or less. So you know, Canadian. It'll probably be like 20 bucks US or something like that, 15, 20 bucks. But I don't know, I think it works right. There's also some other games that they had in this format, but I went with Tetris because I just wanted to go with the format that I know was going to work well. And yeah, you know what? As much as I'm enjoying myself, I really think we've got to, you know, get going. So we'll see if we could score another Tetris, and we'll attempt to score another Tetris. Tetris, yay! And just game over. Oh, that was fun. Would like to spend more time playing this, but I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it tonight. We'll save that for tomorrow, and I don't know. We'll add some extra sample footage, or maybe, you know what? I might actually do a full playthrough. I don't want to say full playthrough, but a long play of sorts on this thing and put it on the archive channel or something. I don't know. Anyways, that's the Tetris game. Let's turn on the lights and formulate some final thoughts, I guess. So it's presently 10:30 in the morning. We're wide awake to make plenty of noise. And I just realized I was playing for the past 10 minutes before I realized I wasn't recording anything. So you missed a couple gems. A couple gems that came out spontaneously and, well, aren't going to come again. So in any event, I got the thing set up on the table here, this very wobbly table. And we're just going to turn it on here, and nice little touch there. You turn it on, you're putting in a coin, and the display pops up. And the autofocus is failing on me. Brilliant. Come on, you can do it. Work between here. There we go. Okay, so you can pick a level. You realize how loud that is, right? That's one level, that's another level. It's a very loud system. So, as advertised, it goes up to 15 levels, but we're going to keep it basic. Nice and basic. You could choose how many garbage blocks, how many lines of garbage blocks you want. Again, it could go up to 15, but we're going to keep it basic and simple. And stick with no garbage blocks. Music's actually quite nice, actually. Sort of a nice emulation of the Game Boy music. Like, at least in terms of the sound font. And that tune, and yeah, that's the sound you make when it rotates. Can I have a line piece already? I'd like to turn off the sound because this ringing is kind of annoying. There you go, popping sound for whenever you do a line clear. There we go. So we're going to turn off the sound because that's kind of annoying. It's just a shame. It's like, it's only the, it's really only the dropping of the blocks making that horrendous sound that really kills it for me. But other than that, look, this thing plays brilliantly, to be honest with you. Mind you, you can make the argument it's Tetris, it's hard to fuck up Tetris, but I've played versions of Tetris that play really, really horrendously. So I wouldn't put it past anybody to put together a thing of Tetris and not have it work well. However, this works really well, actually. You know, if I hold a stick, you know, the tetronyminals slide in and out rather nicely. It's not, doesn't actually, controls don't actually feel that bad. I will say that much. I don't know if they will would hold for extended play. I'd imagine they would. You're not going to advertise 15 levels of play and not have this fucking thing fall apart. But yeah, you know, it's kind of like, oh shit. Anyways, okay. So the thing with this Tetris, it's a modern Tetris product, so there's like modern Tetris sensibilities and stuff like that, where you got both your soft drops, which I've been using, and this is your hard drop, which, you know, just flattens things to the ground. However, you don't have the holding functionality of modern Tetris. You don't have the ghost previews of modern Tetris. And what other things of modern Tetris are? I don't know if there's infinite spin on this thing. Probably not. I imagine that's a bit of a No, locks right into place. Then again, it probably needs something a little more. I probably need to do one of those. Apparently, you could do a T-spin because it has the light up for the T-spin, and that's a thing you could do. Well, no, I have to say, I will say this much. I wasn't expecting much going into this because it's an LED game. You know, it's the modern interpretation of like one of those old Tiger handheld things, or those brick games, those tiny knockoff brick game things that you used to find in like the cheapo stores. So I wasn't expecting much going into it. This is hard to see at certain angles because everything is lit up. You know, I'm having a better time. I'm playing through the viewfinder. I'd imagine in the right positioning you could actually see everything just fine. You know, it's just the way the thing is lit up. But level 3, I seem to be doing all right for the most part. I cannot complain about the quality of the gameplay here. It's just a shame that you have that annoying ringing sound whenever you drop the pieces, and you gotta turn that off. And that's unfortunate because, you know, this thing needs headphone jacks. And I like the tune. I like that, you know, it's based on an old Russian folk tune. I forgot what the name of the tune was, but it was originally known as Type A music in Tetris for Game Boy. Or the title theme from the Famicom Tetris from Bulletproof Software. You know, because the Russians saw that game, and well, they threw a fit because nobody authorized it. But apparently, I don't know. There had to be something, but that's a discussion for some other gaming historian to delve into. Or maybe he did, I don't know. Actually, he probably did. So it was actually a good video. I guess kind of a lame subtle plug or something, I don't know. Anyways, back to Tetris. I seem to be doing, you know what, I'm actually enjoying myself. You know, when it comes to an LED game of this sort, I think they also had like a Miss Pac-Man one, you know, of this same mini arcade type thing. This same design. You know, I'd be curious to see how that plays. If it's improved in great strides from the days of the Pac-Man Coleco arcade machine from the 80s. Which I had one of those Pac-Man machines from the 80s. Those were actually kind of, you know, that was the one Pac-Man Coleco arcade machine, which is like sort of like this, but far more primitive, and obviously, you know, not the same quality of gameplay. That was my earliest instance of video games. You know, and before that, and then you had the I had a Commodore VIC-20. We never had any games for it, but we wrote. We dabbled in the basic programming language. So we wrote a lot of our own little programs and, you know, stuff like that, and, you know, eventually got to a point where we got ourselves an Atari 7800, or I got the Atari 7800 from my parents, and that, you know, dwelled into the NES and that sort of thing, and that's none of that shit's relevant to what we're playing here, but anyways, going on 10 minutes of gameplay so far. Oh, I screwed up. Oh, what's bound to happen, I suppose. Oh well, let's see if we could recover from this. So, Yeah, so this Tetris mini arcade thing from Basic Fun, a company I know nothing about. You know what? I cannot complain. I'm having a good time with this. It plays far better than I was expecting it to, and it works. Not bad for a cheapo purchase, I should say. I forgot how much this thing cost, but that's okay. It's on sale, I think. I bought this at a Walmart anyway, so you'll probably figure it out for yourself. Then again, you might find some nicer junks there. There's plenty of half-decent ways of playing Tetris on the market. It's not a hard game to really replicate or find a decent version of, but as far as like, cheap, collectible trinkets go, this is not bad. This is not bad. I can actually just turn off the sound. If there was a way to like turn off the beeping and just keep the music, that would go a long way, but anyways. Though I think I should end this gameplay now. Anyways. Oh well, a sad sound. And I achieved a high score. Mind you, I could have played a little longer if I wanted to, but my hand's getting tired. I have to play this in a more comfortable position, and unfortunately that's not possible while filming this stuff. So, no, all in all, this Tetris mini arcade thing from Basic Fun, thumbs up. I like this. It says actually not bad. And it turns off on its own. So, nice and considerate. And a great way to end this video. So,